as taking her back. This is not to be considered as taking her back. Give me a scholar. Give me an imam. Because Imam Ahmad said, woe to you from saying something and you don't have an imam. Give me an imam on the face of the earth who has stated this. We had the blessing of placing this question, as we did with Masjid Dirar. We placed the question to Shaykh al-Muhaddith Muhammad Nasruddin al-Albani, and he said what he said regarding the ignorance of such an individual and the hate of such an individual, and that this masjid cannot be called Dirar. And we put the question to Muhammad bin Salih al-Uthaymin, and we put this question to other scholars, which we will go in detail at some other time, inshallah. Similarly, we put the question here to Sheikh Muqbil bin Hadi al-Wadi, and we have the tape. He said, this is not allowed. This is not permissible, because that woman is to be treated as other than a wife. And he did not go in more detail than that, other than saying that this was not permissible. The harms that this has caused recent, is brothers are saying to their wives, I've always wanted to divorce you, but I couldn't be patient for the 3 months. But now I can get my rights, my sexual rights. So therefore, I divorce you now, and I still get my rights. And the sister doesn't know if she's married or unmarried. And the poor sister doesn't know if she, when her iddah begins, and when her iddah ends. And what will become of the children? And so on and so forth. The harms of these issues are momentous, dangerous beyond belief, dangerous beyond imagination. And let's, in closing, answer a doubt that comes to people's mind. The brother comes with books. The brother comes with books. He may bring 6 or 7 books. He brings a statement from Imam Shafi, and a statement from Imam Ibn Hajar, and a statement from this one and that one, and Nawawi and Josie, so on and so forth. And he presents it. Sheikh Saleh Ali Sheikh said in a lecture given at the Quran and Sunnah Society conference in the early 90s, called the Jama'ah, the group in the times of fitna, that our fitna today is that all the groups have individuals who write. And all the groups have individuals who present viewpoints and statements of the scholars in the way that they want to present them, to get their point across, to get their agenda across. He said, gathering statements and presenting them is one thing, and knowledge is something else. And knowledge is something else. And he quoted the verse in Quran, Surah Al Imran, and Surah Al Imran, which speaks about the muhkama, the clear verses, and the mutashabih, those verses that are unclear except to the scholars, ar-rasikhina fil ilm, those well-grounded in knowledge. He said that if there is, and we know mutashabih, verses that are unclear to everyone, but not unclear, or not to most people, but not unclear to the scholars. Verses that are unclear to some of the people, or maybe the majority of people, but not unclear to the scholars. For Abdullaah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, or Mujahid stated that I was with Abdullaah ibn Abbas, Tarjuman al-Quran, and I asked him every verse, and we did not stop at every verse except he gave me the tafsir of it. So it implies that those who are rasikhina fil ilm, well-grounded in knowledge, can give you the tafsir. He said, if there are verses in Quran that are mutashabih, and these are the words of Allah, and you need a scholar to tell you the meaning of that which is mutashabih, that which is unclear. Then when you go to the Sunnah, there's no doubt that there are words of the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that are muhkam, clear, and words that are mutashabih, unclear to the most, but clear to the scholars. And if you go to the Sahaba, there's no doubt that there is a lot of mutashabih, words or statements they made that are unclear to most of the people, but clear to the scholars. And if you go to those after, the mutashabih, the unclear matters are more unclear and more unclear, but to the scholars. So gathering statements that you do not understand and you did not present it to the scholar to make sure your understanding is correct is following the mutashabih. And what did the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam say? If you find those who do this, they are the ones meant by this ayah. Leave them alone. Because the ayah says those who follow mutashabih, and it describes them, and that we should leave them alone. The Prophet said, leave them alone. Stay away from them. That scholar, that alim al-Rabbani, like the likes of Sheikh Muhammad bin Salih al-Uthaymeen, who said, and I heard it with my own ears, sitting in the Haram, sitting at the Kaaba in Mecca, he said, I do not give a fatwa, except that I consider who I'm speaking to from the angle of tarbiyah, of raising them properly. What will be their response and what they will do with it before I answer. And it befits anyone who is going to give a fatwa. Once again, placing in brackets or parentheses the understanding, those who can give fatwa. We're not discussing them now. But those who can, that they should only give a fatwa, understanding the factor of tarbiyah here. As Imam Ali radiallahu anhu said, the Khalifa, the fourth Khalifa, who made the statement in the Sahih Bukhari, talk to the people on their level. Do you want that they will reject the deen of Allah? Oh, come on, oh, as you please. So the scholar, the alim al-Rabbani, who's concerned about the growth and development of people, not exposing, not declaring them devious and disbelievers, but want good for them, will give them those fatwa. And when he gives a fatwa, he will understand the circumstances of the individuals and what dynamite is in the hands of a monkey. The mutashabihah are many. So we are required to go to the scholars. So those groups, this is the words of Sheikh Salih al-Sheikh, who take these statements, if they were to take those statements that they have collected, the statement here of Imam Shafi, the statement here of Imam Malik, the statement here of this one or that one, and present it to the scholar, he will understand that which is muhkam, clear of it, and that which is unclear. He will understand in what relation this text is to be taken and where its proper place is. Because that's knowledge. And knowledge is not collecting information. Knowledge is something that Allah Ta'ala places in the hearts of individuals. And the people witness it, even if he doesn't have a title or position. The following the mutashabih leads to fitna. So in the time of fitna, Sheikh Salih al-Sheikh said, avoid those who follow the mutashabih. Avoid them. Avoid them. I would like to ask those individuals who followed, who blind followed, without knowledge, without understanding, without any excuse, who blind followed this individual, and who won't blind follow Abu Hanifa, and won't blind follow Imam Malik, and won't blind follow Imam Shafi, and won't blind follow Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal. Those who the Ummah has witnessed for centuries that the scholars that will blind follow this man. I would like to ask those who hear the adhan from 4th Avenue, from Masjid Darab, what are they going to say in front of Allah when they are in opposition to the order of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that when you hear the adhan, you must answer. I would like to ask, based upon what? Have you disconnected yourself from your brother when the Prophet sallallahu